Hey guys, Dr. Jason Torado here. Glad to have you back. And we're getting close to the Christmas holidays. So now that we're getting close to the holidays, obviously you guys aren't pushing so hard in your practices. What I want to do is I want to talk to you briefly about what are some of the things that are working for my chiropractic members, those are the guys that I coach, right now inside their practice. Okay? So I'm going to open up the doors a little bit, and just want to let you know what these guys are doing, what these doctors are doing. Some of them are extremely successful. Some of them are kind of in the middle, right? And I want to let you know what it is that they're doing right now in their practice, what they did during this year that has given them the success that they are really achieving right now. And a lot of these guys are achieving some incredible, incredible successes. I'm telling you, like a lot of these guys aren't doing Facebook ads. They're not running these crazy ads out there, doing dinner talks and doing stuff like that. They're not doing that, right? But these doctors that I coach right now, the majority of these doctors are getting at least 5 new patients a week. They really are, which means they're getting about 20 new patients at a minimum every single month without breaking a sweat. And so what I want to do is I'm going to give you a list of things right now that my members are doing that are really, really working for them. Okay, I just want to reveal that to you, what's working, and what's working. And again, this isn't just them. This is me also, right? Because I still practice. I'm doing the same things that they're doing, and I only practice a few days a week, and I'm still getting all the new patients that I want to get, that I need, or that I can handle inside my office. I want to reveal that to you right now. So, first thing I'm going to tell you, I want to start off and I'm going to tell you the most obvious thing that a lot of these members do, and a lot of the things that I do, is kind of what I tell you and I've been telling you all year long, and that is simply this, is you should be doing the opposite of what the majority of the profession is actually doing. I know it sounds crazy, but the majority of the profession is really doing it wrong, and they're working too hard, and they're getting very, very small results. So to be honest with you, you should actually be doing the opposite of what the majority of this freaking profession is actually doing. You know, I'll tell you something. Take anything that's challenging inside your practice, and I want you to look at yourself, okay? And I want you to look at what you're doing, and I really want you to ask yourself, hey, Doc, what if I just did the opposite? I mean, I'm totally serious. I know that sounds crazy, but again, look at something that's challenging inside your practice right now that you're having a hard time with, and look at it and go, you know what, maybe I should just stop what I'm doing. What if I just did the opposite? What kind of result would I get? I'll tell you something. Doing the opposite, okay, it doesn't solve everything. I'm not suggesting that. And sometimes doing the opposite, I'll tell you, will actually make things worse. So you got to be careful. But a lot of times, doing the opposite of what you're doing that isn't working, a lot of times fixes the problem, fixes the challenge. It really does. Either way, okay, you should still make that part of your thought process. Have the ability to be able to think a little bit different and maybe even think opposite about what it is that you're doing. I'll tell you something. In chiropractic, assuming that you've adopted this approach that I try to teach, and that is to, like a low overhead practice and try to really simplify things in your practice. Again, and that's no particular order. That's everything, like across the board in your practice. A lot of times these opposite approaches that I'm suggesting actually work. So let me give you an example, okay? I know a lot of doctors put out care plans. They recommend care plans. I'm suggesting don't give care plans. Don't give a long-term care plan, and don't even give a long-term care plan in advance. Don't do that, right? Do the opposite. A lot of times doctors, here's another thing. A lot of times doctors, they let their patients go, and they make some type of a structured lifetime recommended maintenance plan for their patients. I'm suggesting do the opposite. Let your patients go, And don't have a structured lifetime maintenance plan. Just tell them like this: come back when you need me. Really, it's very simple. Come back when you need me. Try that approach. See what happens. And look, don't knock it until you've actually tried it. Here's another thing. I know many of you probably have a dedicated exam room, or not an exam room, a consultation room where you do this report of findings, your day 1, your day 2, and all those things. Well, here's something. Don't use a specific dedicated consultation room. Don't. Just do your report of findings in the same place where you did the exam, which is probably the same place where you're going to go adjust them. Try that out. Shorten your report of findings. And that goes back to, and getting back to the day 1, day 2, don't do a day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You know what? Just do a quick report of findings that literally takes you 5 minutes. And if you're going longer than 5 minutes, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I know what they teach. I know you should do like break it up into day 1 and day 2. And it should be a long, and you should show them a video and all these things and educate them about chiropractic. I'm suggesting don't do it. Really. Just do a short, down-to-earth, one-to-one, look at them in the eye, report of findings that a kindergartner could understand. Very, very simple. And again, don't do it inside a dedicated consultation room. Here's another thing. I know that it's Christmas time. A lot of doctors, they bonus their staff on a number of patient visits. My suggestion, don't do it. Don't do that. How about, let's talk about putting discounts out there, giving away your services at a discounted price. I'm going to suggest to you this year, don't do it at all. Don't do that at all. Now, don't get me wrong. You can do a consultation, 10, 15 minutes to see whether or not they're right for chiropractic. But when it comes to actually treating a patient, don't discount your fees. Try that out in 2024. Okay? Now, I know a lot of you guys work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maybe you work Saturday once or twice a month or something like that. Here's my suggestion. Don't work Saturdays. Here's an even better suggestion. Don't work Fridays. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Boom, that's it. You put in 4 days, you're done. Take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Like, what a concept. What a concept. What would happen if you actually started doing that inside your practice? I mean, this is really some crazy, crazy thinking. But I want you to think a little bit crazy. I want you to think the opposite of what you do. I know that you probably go to your practice, golf shirt, maybe a pair of scrubs. You kind of go casual. Here's an idea. Wear a shirt and tie. Wear a shirt and tie, maybe even a white lab coat. Try it out. Try it out. See what's going to happen. Do the opposite of what you were doing. Now, if you were wearing a white lab coat and you were wearing a shirt and tie, dress casually, more casually. Try it out. Try it out. There's nothing written in stone here. Here's another one. If you call patients right after your first adjustment, here's a suggestion. Stop doing that. I mean, don't do it. Break the status quo. I know what coaches say. Call them up after the first adjustment. Look, don't do it. I don't. Personally, I think it looks desperate. But you know what? That's up to you. That's okay. And you can disagree with me. That's okay. But I'm suggesting do the opposite. Don't do it. Don't call your patients after the first adjustments. I know you probably do spinal health care classes. You probably hate doing them, right? But you tell yourself that you love doing those things. Maybe even spinal screenings. Man, I did them for years. Or even patient appreciation days or free giveaways inside your office, like giving away a bucket of chicken or giving away some candy or giving away a TV or giving away something. Stop doing those things inside your practice. Give it a shot. See what happens. You might give out brochures, have these paper brochures inside your office. You think patients are actually taking paper brochures? Maybe you have these envelopes that you give to these patients with all this chiropractic information. Maybe you show these day 1, day 2, day 3 patient videos, education videos, like you actually think that patients want to see that. I've got an idea. Don't use them anymore. Literally, don't use them anymore inside your practice. Don't do those healthcare classes. Don't do these free spinal exams anymore if you're doing those things. Really. Here's another thing. If you're taking x-rays, and I know a lot of you still take x-rays, right? Maybe it's part of your technique. That's fine. But I know, and you know, that we use those x-rays to sell treatment. That's what we do, a longer-term care plan. Hey, you know, you've got this irregular curve. I'm going to need to treat you for the next 3 to 6 months so we can reverse your curve. We'll do re-examinations and re-x-rays every 12 to 14 visits, okay? We use those x-rays to sell our treatment. I've got an idea. How about, you want to take x-rays, that's fine. Well, how about if you don't use your x-rays to sell treatment? Try that out. Really, try that out. And last but not least, because you know what, I could go on and on and on and on. Here's another thing. How about you have a walk-in? How about you put a sign on your door, even on your website or in your Google account online that says, walk-ins are welcome. Try taking walk-ins. Don't have these special times to see new patients or these special adjusting hours where you can, just be able to take a new patient at any point in time during the day. Try that out. Literally try that out. And don't even get stressed out about it, right? If 2 people come in, no sweat. Handle the 2 people. The idea here is to do things differently, okay? And so that your brain starts to think differently, so you end up with a different result. Up until now, if you're getting amazing results, you know what? I'll shut up, throw away the key, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not getting the results that you want, then maybe it's time to start getting rid of the status quo and start doing things that are totally opposite of what it is that you're doing right now. Totally serious. Maybe you need to break the model right now because that model that you're in, maybe it's not working. My point is really simple. I want you to question the old habits that you do, the old status quo of chiropractic. And because I'll tell you something, that old status quo, a lot of those old ideas, those things that are ingrained inside your brain, a lot of those things are driven by an industry that doesn't necessarily have you or your patient's best interest in mind. I'm totally serious. A lot of those status quo things are really there, put in place for you personally as a chiropractor to buy so that they could make money. So I'm telling you, look, reverse the thinking, reverse the psychology, because you can, and I'll tell you more often than not, right? It's what you can change your mind in practice. In fact, you can do whatever you want to do in your practice. It's your practice, right? And so, because more than likely, those status quo things that you're doing right now, it's not what your patient wants. I'm sorry to say that, but that is the truth. All right, guys, remember, that's going to be it. You've got the plan for 2024. Remember, it's your practice. It's your life. You've got to make it amazing. And if I could help you out in any way, DM me, and I'd love to be your coach. All right, guys, we'll talk soon.